What's going on, and welcome back to another less than 5 minute gear review. And in this video we're going to be going over the 21st Tactical shotgun lanyard and their shotgun magnetic catch. Now this is going to be an extension off of the first video that I did for these setups. Some of the materials and the pouches and components and parts that you're going to see are going to be from that same video from before, but I did say that I would get this shotgun magnet so that way you can see what it's like, how it's set up and configured in comparison to the Ronin Factory magnet that I typically use. So with that, I'm going to jump right into the breakdown of it, and then I'll talk about setup. I'll pull in this cummerbund section so that way you can see the different ways you can set things up and configure things, and then determine how you want to set up and configure your kit in the event that you need the capability to run a shotgun as a tertiary weapon system or a secondary weapon system for riot control, breaching, and or whatever else you can think of. So with that, the shotgun lanyard is pretty simple and straightforward. Like in the previous video, you have actually 3 pieces of elastic shock cord running through this entire system to maximize that elastic capability, and then also maintain a little bit of comfort when this is ran over your shoulder and then connected into the shotgun and then placed behind your arm. You have the loop on the bottom to be able to loop into and tie into the bottom of your plate carrier, and then you also have your carabiner. So pretty simple and straightforward. It's all enclosed in tubular nylon, so it is a really nice, well put together system. And then that's going to cost you about 30 bucks. The shotgun magnetic catch is going to cost you about $65. It is pretty expensive, but you do have this rare earth magnet that comes with it. You do have a little bit of moly on the exterior of this. I don't think it's necessary, but based off of the guys that had initially designed this, they wanted that extra moly on the exterior of this to be able to add pouches in the event that you weren't utilizing this. So it's something that if you want it, you have it there. I don't think it's necessary, but hey, it's whatever. It's whatever you need when it comes down to it. And then the backside, you have your moly to moly into whatever system you're running. This does have a little bit of a Velcro opening, and then you can pull your rare earth magnet out. When it comes to these things, you guys got to be really careful with these rare earth magnets because they are pretty fragile. You drop it, it'll break, it'll shatter. If you let it magnetically make contact, or just if it makes contact with any metal surface that it can magnetize itself to, especially another one of these rare earth magnets, these things can break and kind of, it's like a little tiny micro explosion right in front of you because of how powerful these things are. I've had these spark, and it's violent. You don't want your hand in between two of these things because they're that powerful. But like I said, they are fragile, so keep it inside of the little pouch just to protect it from breaking when it makes contact to any other magnetic or metal surface. And I'll show you here with this magnet, when you have it, I mean, it's going to pull it right out of your hand. So, and I'm about 3 or 4 inches off of the pouch, and it connects right to it. The closer you get, the more it's going to magnetize and pull apart. So this thing is pretty strong when it comes down to it. It can be hard to pull that apart just like that. I would peel it away and then pull off, especially when you have your shotgun and you're setting everything up. If you peel it away like that, it's going to be a lot easier to pull your shotgun out of its catch. So with that, that's the magnetic catch itself. This thing is really awesome. It is really powerful. The only caveat with it is if you're not running a shotgun, I have seen guys running these on their plate carriers and on their cummerbund, and they'll come across a doorway or a threshold, and the steel framing will actually attract that magnet, and they'll get sucked into the wall. And it's kind of funny when it comes down to it, but it's something that you also don't want to have happen. So just be cognizant of that if you're going to run one of these stronger rare earth magnets compared to one of the Ronin Factory. I do like these for the fact that they're not as powerful, but if you really want that powerful magnet to keep things retained, absolutely go with this. And when setting these up, and especially when I get to the setup portion of it, the magnet is for the shotgun from preventing it from rotating, so that way that pistol grip or that nub that's on the back of that shotgun, it isn't rotating in the back of your arm and hitting you and causing bruising. And then the weapon's catch or a hook is going to sit below it, So then that way that shotgun doesn't want to swing out and hit you in the side. I run both systems. I know guys that run just one of the systems. They'll either just run the weapons catch or the hook, and then I know guys that'll just run the shotgun magnet. It's personal preference when it comes down to it. I prefer running both just because I think it's more secure, and I know that isn't going to move around on me when I have everything set up on my kit. So I highly recommend these when it comes down to it. I ran a couple of kind of Jimmy rigged configurations for shotgun lanyards. This is by far the best system that I have ever ran for a shotgun lanyard in the past 3 to 5 years. So I would highly recommend going with a shotgun lanyard, and then the magnets are options and the hook are options depending on how you want to configure things. I always run the magnet on a cummerbund, and then I always run the hook on a belt. So you have options when it comes to the configuration. When it actually, or what it actually looks like on a cummerbund when you have everything put together, and I'm going to show you kind of pretty much what I have set up right now on my plate carrier. I'll run a single flashbang pouch for smokes, multi-tools, or I shouldn't say smokes, Enola Gay burst smoke grenades, because they're nice, small, compact. You can carry a lot of them and they don't weigh anything. I'll run those, initiating systems, multi-tools, and then flashbangs. I can run all of those inside of these little tiny pouches. I'll run my initiating systems with the horizontal M4 magazine pouch from Crye Precision, and then I typically take the shotgun magnet and run it right here above all of that, so then that way I get good contact or surface contact in between my magnet and my shotgun, and then I have my hook set up on my belt so that way it holds everything in place. So this is preventing the rotation, this is preventing the swinging, and then the shotgun lanyard is mollied into the bottom of my plate carrier. It goes up and over my shoulder, connects into the shotgun, and then it magnetically attaches all of it. The receiver magnetically attaches to this magnet right there. So when it comes to the shotguns, you do need to take into consideration that some shotgun receivers are not made out of like steel, so you have to have that steel receiver to be able to utilize that magnet. So depending on what systems you're running, just make sure you know what the material, or what the receiver material is, so you're not wasting money on a magnet if you don't need it based off of the shotgun that you're running. From what I remember, the Mossberg 500 and the Benelli don't run steel receivers, but the Remington 870 Express, or the Remington 870 Express Tac 14, I believe is what it's called, both run those steel receivers. So you have that capability to magnetically attach everything, and you can just run 550 cord or zip ties through this. I prefer 550 cord. I feel it's a little bit more secure. I've ran it with zip ties, it works, but I prefer the 550 cord because it really keeps things nice and tight, and you don't have to worry about the 550 cord breaking compared to those zip ties. Now if you're going to run the 21st Tactical magnet, it's going to make things just a little, I'm not going to say super congested, but it can make things congested, especially with running this horizontal mag pouch. Granted, it's just going to depend on the cummerbund that you have and how large it is. I have small plate carriers, so everything can kind of get tight when it comes to my cummerbunds, just because there isn't a whole lot of space on them. Now granted, I probably wouldn't have these little grommets, so I could offset it just a little bit so it would work perfectly in that configuration. But you can see how you can set these up and have different configurations based off of what your plate carrier size is, so that way you can still run everything that you need. You still have that shotgun lanyard to be able to connect or magnetically attaches to that receiver, and then your shotgun just falls into this hook as well. So with that, if you have any questions, I know there's been a couple of people that have asked specifically about more shotgun setup stuff, and I hope this answers those questions. If you have any questions after watching this video, please feel free to ask any questions that you have. We'll help you out in any way that we can. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.